If you have been anywhere around the Overwatch content scene these past couple weeks, you've probably heard about Gamin4Hope. He's a content creator currently focused on Overwatch, documenting his journey through the ranks. He even managed to climb all the way from platinum to diamond. Hold on a sec, guys. Hello? You said platinum? Yeah, never mind, guys. He's still in plat. But it's not all bad, though. At least he's improving, right? After an insane amount of coaching sessions from professionals all around the world, he's surely getting better, right?
Yeah, the wrecking ball is dead. We can probably push that now. Yeah, that's just unlucky. They're dead. Why are we all the way back here? That'll at least hopefully surely we killed something there.
No, he's not. He still sucks. Gamin4Hope is not your typical Overwatch creator. He's not some 17-year-old cracked prodigy, grinding ranked all day. He's older, he's got a family, and he's trying to improve at the game while documenting the whole process, which on paper actually sounds like a great idea. At the age of 30, Gamin4Hope is trying to prove that age doesn't really matter when it comes to becoming skilled at a video game. The name Gamin4Hope is definitely unique, and it ties into his whole brand, which is pursuing content creation full-time. Essentially, he is gaming for hope. However, at the start of his career, he was actually going by Gamin4God. Yeah, because of that name, a lot of people have compared him to Dr. Witnesser, who is a streamer who, and I quote, brings the gospel to gamers. This guy has a massive rabbit hole of controversies surrounding him, but the important thing is, you basically don't ever want to be compared to him. Is it a fair comparison? I don't really think so, but is the name Gamin4God the funniest thing in the world? Possibly, yes. Gamin4Hope gets a lot of hate. Like, a lot. People are dedicating entire YouTube channels to playing Gamin4Hope bingo, making compilations of his worst moments. His chat is usually filled with trolls, and his mods are basically working overtime, drinking Mountain Dew and banning anyone who says anything even slightly negative. If you tune in to a Gamin4Hope stream, you would see, first of all, questionable gameplay. Then something goes wrong and it's usually the team's fault. Chat calls it out and now we're arguing. Then the next game starts and somehow the exact same thing happens again. And after a while you realize it's not just a few bad moments, it's basically the entire stream. And in between games, there's this weird intermission where he switches to full face cam and just sits there, staring at chat. No music, no talking, just silence. Sometimes for way longer than you'd expect. And you're just sitting there thinking something's about to happen, but no, he's just reading chat. It's honestly one of the strangest parts of the whole stream. In order to get to the real point of this video, we'll get into the fundamental issues with Gamin4Hope and his streams. Instead of looking at all the accusations he's received, like being a Nazi, leaving his job, neglecting his child, and being a member of the KKK, we're gonna look at everything wrong with his actual streams, content, and his viewer interaction. This is just because Gamin4Hope has already defended himself, and he's responded to most of the crazy accusations that were made, and it's already been covered by a multitude of people as well. Anyways, let's talk about all the issues with the Gamin4Hope stream. I'll be listing them out in no particular order. Number 1. His gameplay is not very interesting. There is zero standout moments, and nothing really pulls you in as a viewer. Number 2. He often blames his teammates. When something goes wrong, the focus tends to shift away from his own decisions and onto what the team is doing. And over time, that shit becomes really noticeable.
Where are we right now? Genuine question.
Number 3. He has a short temper. He gets mad and he spirals whenever the chat starts opposing him on anything. Number 4. Bro cannot hit a flux to save his life. Oh my fuck, 9 out of 10 times that shit does nothing.
I've seen 9.
Number 5. He has received way too much coaching. It's causing him to overthink and he simply can't take in all the information. This is a big part of what makes his gameplay so boring. Number 6, streams are literally just not fun to watch. Every match is filled with self-aware gameplay, where he basically narrates everything around him in order to sound like he's understanding the game properly. Instead of having fun, he's critically reviewing and observing his own gameplay. This always leads to too much talking.
We just can't walk through the choke here. If I try and walk through, we only have 2 up right now. We're gonna have to wait either way. Let's see what we can do with. Got high charge. I need to just friggin' run it.
Number 7, he won't join team chat and he rarely plays with friends or groups. Number 8, he really just makes no attempt at being entertaining whatsoever. But here's where things actually get interesting, because none of this is random. The gameplay, the mistakes, the mindset, the opinions, all of it becomes part of the content. And the problem is, the things that make the stream frustrating to watch are the same things that make people stay. When he argues with chat, people clip it. When he blames teammates, people react to it. When something goes wrong, people talk about it. Even the negative moments are still engagement. You sit and watch the stream to watch him fuck up a flux for the 15th time. And at that point, the goal kind of shifts, right? It's not just about improving at Overwatch anymore. It's about being watched. And if being bad at Overwatch is what keeps people watching this guy, he will be bad for for a long fucking time. Either Gamin4Hope is simply cooked and physically can't play good Overwatch, or he is simply the most insane engagement baiter in the Overwatch community. At this point, I genuinely don't know which one of those is true. I was recently banned from watching Gamin4Hope stream because I wrote a message saying holy cope, so I'll be watching from the sidelines from now on. However, Gamin4Hope, if you're somehow watching this, here's my advice to you. Yes, it's coming from a completely unreliable source, but I do think there's some truth to this. You gotta stop taking the game so seriously, man. It's tripping you up in this weird way where your streams have this professional gamer feeling. Yet the gameplay is mediocre at best. I, among many others, have climbed to grandmasters and top ranks without coaching sessions, without analyzing gameplay, and without carefully dissecting every mistake made. The difference between you and the average gamer is that they're having fun and you are not. You're clocking in to work, clocking in to argue with your chat and use a Zarya bubble to block nothing. You spam YouTube shorts with videos saying, I noticed an issue with my gameplay, and I realized this was holding me back, and all this self-reflective shit, yet none of that improvement or any of those realizations are shown in your gameplay. You also just gotta not have a stream chat, bro. You're always talking about, I need to not read chat, or I'm locking in, because you're getting rage baited by trolls. And Gamin4Hope, buddy, I don't know if you see this, but it is working. Anyways, that's about all I had to say about Gamin4Hope. I just felt like talking about it for a while, to be honest, because I feel like I'm the bad guy for not liking this dude. Thanks for watching. I'm out, boys.